Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome here to Long Beach, California. You join me at Electrify Expo, and you guys know the drill. When we go to events and things, we go on full tours, and that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to take you on a full tour of Electrify Expo Long Beach. Essentially, if you're not able to make it to this event, we want you to feel like you've been to this event. But of course, this event also covers, electric vehicles. There's also some plug-in hybrid stuff, but mostly electric vehicles and e-bikes and micromobility. We're going to touch on some micromobility products, but consider this from an automotive enthusiast standpoint. The cars, that's what I'm interested in. There's mobile design studios for Volvo EX90 and that Prevost H345 over there. Just some crazy cool stuff to show you. And it's really one of those neat events. It's a traveling event. So we just flew over to film this video for you guys today, explore some stuff. There's a Kia EV9, there's some other cool things. So let's go on a full tour of Electrify Expo here in Long Beach, California. So you join us at the entrance. If you pan this way, this is sort of where you get your tickets, you come in. I think most people got their tickets online to join. And essentially, Electrify Expo is like a celebration of all things electric. This is just my impression. And I've heard about it for a while. It's the first one I've ever been to. This was a bigger one because Tesla was actually here and some other automakers. And I was like, okay, this event's getting big, it's getting real, and it's turning into something cool. So I thought, let's go for our first one. And it's taken us a few hours to get to the point of filming this video because we've met so many of you guys. So if we saw you here already, thanks for saying hey. Really cool to see who's on the other side of the camera. But we're in to show you some stuff. So let's start with Volvo. We've reviewed many of their electric cars over time. And, of course, they have their C40 on display, XC40. These are both battery electric. These are the recharge models, if you will. And, just I think some of the best and not really appreciated or talked about electric vehicles. This one in sage green, that one in fjord blue. We've done range testing, charging testing. They don't necessarily win out on paper, but they just feel nice. And one thing I haven't seen yet, actually, is this is the new wool interior inside XC40. Also has a crystal shifter, which looks pretty cool as well. So loving the updates for the new model year in this vehicle. Later on in the video, I'm actually going to take you inside the Prevost H345. Of course, Prevost part of Volvo Group, if you will. And so this is not the newest redesigned bus. I'm a bus nerd too, but this thing is so cool. It's a mobile design studio, essentially. They also have XC60 Recharge. This is, I believe, the extended range one. We've just done some videos on the V60 Polestar extended range, so check those out. Bigger battery, juicier rear electric motor, still unfortunately capped at 3.6 kilowatt onboard charging. That's kind of a shame, but Bowers & Wilkins sound system rips. Everything about this is just, I think, one of the best plug-in hybrid SUVs, now made better, of course, with the enhanced power of the recharge option. Then they have XC90, the big 3-row. They got all the accessories going on. Shout out to my friend Tyler for, I think, speccing these things properly. Did a great job. And, we've made videos on all the Volvo products. The battery electric stuff's most interesting to me. The EX90 is not here, but the mobile design studio is. So I want to show you all of that towards the end of this video. So stay tuned until then, because this is so crazy. You can literally go through and see the individual components inside the EX90. So I'll show you that. The EX90 design booth bus is towing their mobile coffee studio. So this is crazy. We really haven't seen Volvo do anything like this previously. Go this big into event marketing really shows how hard they're pushing their battery electric future. I'll also have a video for you coming soon on the EX30. I can't tell you anything about it because I don't know anything about it, but I'm going to go over and see that vehicle in Europe here very, very soon. So keep an eye out for the EX30. If we cross over to the Toyota booth, this is where things get really funny because we're at, of course, a battery electric show display, and they had a guy over here promoting hydrogen and plug-in and hybrid, and they're saying, we have the solution for everything. And it's just like, no, decide which way you want to go, and it should be battery electric for passenger cars. So there's a Mirai here. Actually, some of our most popular videos on this channel are from the Mirai. I really enjoyed it. It's just infrastructure is the main problem, and of course the round trip efficiency of hydrogen. There's also the new Prius, and I believe they have the new Prius Prime. So hybrid and plug-in hybrid options. I have not gotten a new Prius for you on this channel yet. We have played around with them. Maybe the Prius Prime will film at some point. That should be pretty cool. BZ4X over here on our left. Actually, as soon as we land back in Colorado, we'll be picking up a BZ4X test vehicle. And so this one's getting a lot of interest, of course. And not only can you look at these vehicles on display, take a look inside, you'll see everything going on here, but you can also actually test drive everything here. So I'm trying to think, Kia, Ford, Tesla, Volkswagen, Mitsubishi with the Outlander plug-in hybrid, and more. You can all test drive their vehicles. So this is sort of the automaker display portion here. If we look to our right, we'll see Ford. I haven't checked out the Ford booth yet. Looks like there's a F-150 Lightning. This one's a Lariat model right here, so sort of just one down from the top. You can choose 2 different battery pack sizes. We've done a ton with F-150 Lightning, of course. Tow testing, range testing, payload testing, looking at the scales and the suspension, which I believe they actually removed out of certain trims for the newer model year. But this is a vehicle that has just transformed at least the conversation around pickup trucks. So I love what it does. I can't wait to see what they do with future generations. There's certainly a lot of room for improvement from a software standpoint and integration of everything, but Ford's really going big here, and I think it's great. If we take a look at the rest of the Ford booth, we'll see a Mustang Mach-E, fully murdered out GT performance right here, looking great. The black wheels, this thing looks freaking awesome. This is the Ford Level 2 EVSE. We've never seen this one on this channel before. Come on in here and take a look. I don't know much about it. I've only seen the big Ford Pro Charger before, so this is the first time we're able to check this. Of course, if you're looking for a Level 2 EVSE reviews, take a look at the State of Charge YouTube channel. Always got to drop Tom a note or a plug when we're talking about charging, and he is the guru when it comes to level 2 stuff. Here's the F100. We've actually made a video with this vehicle. I believe it's on this channel, going for a ride. Basically a Mustang Mach-E with their crate motor mounted in the front with a drive axle gone to the rear. So this car is great. I love that Ford's doing cool concepts. And of course, Ford didn't bring any plug-in hybrids here or hybrids. They brought battery electric stuff because they know what the future is like. So I love to see that. Let's skip Lexus really quick because I want to show you what's going on at Kia just to get you the EV9. Now, the plan, at least, I don't know if this will work out, is if you check out yesterday's video, the one posted before this one, we'll have a full tour of one of the 2 EV9s posted here. We haven't shot that yet at this time, but my plan is to put that up first. If you haven't seen that video, it means we haven't been able to film the car, but come on in and take a look. We have EV6 GT on the left. We've done reviews of this. Thing absolutely rips. That is a serious vehicle. It's got the eGMP 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack, 700 volt nominal or so, 570 horsepower, is it? Mid 500s, absolutely rips. You really need to get the battery temperature right, high state of charge, all of that stuff. One of my favorite cars of the year that I've driven. I can't wait for the Ioniq 5N with the actual torque. What am I looking for? The word is limited. Now this has a limited slip rear diff, torque vectoring rear diff. Sorry, my brain's going a million different places today, but can't wait for the Ioniq 5N with the actual torque vectoring diff. This is just LSD on the back, but it works really well. It gets the power down and absolutely shreds. EV9 over here on the left, I think 99.8 kilowatt hour usable, 3-row SUV. It's the first time we've been able to really see it. I actually allegedly saw this vehicle a couple weeks ago at the Char-In Festival, doing some interoperability testing, and I was just like, wow, looks so good. Really fills the niche of 300 miles of range, 3 rows of seating, all the good Kia stuff you expect from drivetrain, I imagine. I haven't driven it yet. No swivel seats available in the US spec, so we won't see that. It's just an FM VSS thing. It just doesn't pass, unfortunately. Come take a look at the back of this. It looks good. Definitely feels smaller than Rivian R1S. I know a lot of Rivian folks were like, oh, I'm gonna go for this. Doesn't quite seem as big, but in terms of styling, it's there, it looks good. So we'll do a full video on this coming to you, hopefully before this video, but we'll get with you on that soon. And then we have the Kia e-Niro over here. So this is the Niro full electric. We have videos on this, of course. Last week we rented one from Hertz, really enjoyed the car. I love the styling updates for this year. It's got that same battery pack from the Kona, near mid 60 kilowatt hours, only 77 kilowatt peak charging speeds. But for an around town car, now that the Bolt is going away, this seems like the good entry level option. It's not cheap, it's still 40 grand, doesn't get the tax credit, but that's kind of where we're at. We need more inexpensive EVs. Unfortunately, we just don't have them. Another EV6 behind the camera. This is just a regular EV6. probably all-wheel drive GT line, gives you the sunroof, some other nice things in there as well. Let's see what else they have going on at the Kia booth. So fully electric Niro is here. They have their Sportage plug-in hybrid thing. Not sure what's going on with that. Let's take a right over this way. A really nice spec EV9 here. This thing looks incredible, doesn't it? So 3 rows, love the interior trim on this particular one. Let's peek over here into the trunk. Looking good. You can see seat folds down in the 3rd row, which is great. Taking a look as well. Looks like there's some roof air vents. So again, keep an eye tuned. We'll have a full dedicated video coming on this vehicle. Cannot wait to show it to you. This is really the highlight of the whole event, in my opinion. Seeing the EV9 here solidifies that, okay, this is the SUV maybe to have. So really looking forward to this. The lighting signatures, this color combo for sure is the spec to go with. All right, let's continue around and see what else we can find. We'll swing by Lexus really quick. So of course they have a whole bunch of lineup of hybrids. You know, Toyota's slogan has always been, we choose not to plug in. But now, of course, they have a battery electric model. I don't know if I want to show you this one or if I want to show you this one over here. I guess I'll show you this one over here because this one's kind of cool. This is the RZ450E, and this is basically BZ4X's nicer cousin, if you will. It's the Lexus-fied one. So they actually put the battery that goes in the BZ4X front-wheel drive into the all-wheel drive version of the RZ450E, so it charges at 150 kilowatts instead of 100. I'll explain all that when we have a chance to review this car soon. They also have a yoke option that will come soon with a progressive steering ratio, or adaptive, I should say. That's like totally steer by wire. That could be interesting to play around with. I don't believe that will be out for the next couple of years. But yeah, let's just take a little bit of a closer look. Design-wise, I think maybe looks a little bit nicer than BZ4X. It's my first time seeing one. Door handles certainly are different. Whoa, what is going on with this interior? This would drive Colton nuts. You would have to brush the entire interior because it's all like Alcantara. Pretty interesting for sure. So definitely not sure what's going on with that interior. I don't know. Let's see really quick. 308 horsepower on this particular one. This sort of smooth black finish. I don't mind the dual tone hood. That's kind of okay, but I don't know. This is the Lexus RX 500H. We have videos on this car on this channel. Jordan did a whole review a while ago on the first drive event, and we're not going to talk about it because it's not electric. What else should we see? Tesla's just over here. Let's show you what Tesla factory display is. This is the first time in a long time we've seen Tesla do a factory-backed display. And man, they have gone all out. They have the biggest spot. They have their own lounge chairs over there. And it's pretty cool to honestly see them get in to support the community a bit. They have a whole bunch of product experts here, I think creating a pretty cool vibe. Someone kicked on the rear fogs on this Model S Plaid right here. We have Model Y on the right. So it looks like there's 2 Model 3s, S, X, and Y. So let's come through and take a look at the specs. We got gray on 21-inch Model S Plaid with the new red brake calipers. They're actually like just a cover, so the brake caliper is only about this big now, and then they just have this extra plate that just seems so dumb and not cool. Very low state of charge in this one. It's only at like 30% state of charge. We have Model X in the new red color, which I think looks really good. I'm not a red car guy personally, but this is a really nice red. Looks like they went for red on white seat with the non-big wheels. These are the 20-inch wheels, so good spec right there. Okay, so let's continue around because they're doing something here. We have a Model Y, which is neat. Model 3 Performance, of course, in red, and another Model 3 just up over there. Nothing like new to share, but just great to see them at this display. Powerwall and a level 2 EVSE, the Tesla wall connector on the other side. So yeah, just nice and cool. Love to see Tesla doing more stuff. That could be really interesting. So we're on the back side of Ford over here. They have some games set up, some cornhole. Let's continue down to the left side here because there's some more automakers on display. It has a little bit of like an auto show vibe to it, this whole place. And you know, if you want individual spotlights on any of these vehicles, I'm just sharing some information. Most of these cars that we're talking about, we have deep dives testing on, and you'll see a lot of that stuff as well. So this guy's talking about turbocharged engines here at the Electrify Expo. That's not cool. If I were them, I wouldn't allow that. Bring battery electrics only. Look, I love combustion engines. This is not the event to showcase it, sorry. Volkswagen brought a cool Westfalia over here, fully electric converted, I would be my guess. I haven't checked it out yet. Let's take a look at the old Westie. Looks like it's a T2 body. Best car here, totally agree. And let's see what's going on underneath. Yeah, so absolutely. So you can see full electric drop-in conversion here, it looks like. Try to see what motor is in there. It looks like an ID4 motor, perhaps. It's got Volkswagen tags on it, so I don't know. We have to get some more info at this. Perhaps we'll see it at some future events. They also brought an ID4 here on display. This is kind of the lamest spec ID4. You would think you'd get one of the red ones with the cool blue and white interior, but gray cloth interior, sort of a standard spec car, not even a sunroof on display. This is the new entry-level model. We'll actually have a small battery ID4 on test here coming soon. 68 kilowatt hour gross, is it, if I remember correctly? It's smaller than the 74. Chattanooga car, that'll be coming to us soon. Pretty sure this one's Chattanooga as well. But man, Volkswagen, get some cooler cars on display. You have some of the coolest stuff ever. Like, why isn't ID7 here? We just filmed with that in New York, and there's just a base ID4. They got all the cool red ones out on drives. Let people drive this one and put the red one on display with all the stuff. So take a look over here, Mitsubishi with their plug-in hybrid Outlander display. Another huge display going all out for their only plug-in option. This is one of 2 new vehicles sold in America with a CHAdeMO charging port, and I want to show you this. We actually have one we can review. I haven't asked for it, but maybe if you're interested, we will. But take a look. It's got 2 charging ports on it, J1772 for AC, and of course, CHAdeMO for DC. What I want to know is what happens when you plug both in at the same time. Explosion. I don't know. Would be kind of fun. Let's continue. Chrysler is here with, I believe, the only model Chrysler sells. I think this is the only car, right? Yeah. 200's dead, 300's now dead, just the Pacifica. And they brought the plug-in Pacifica, which when it gets cold, you can't even drive electric because it can't run the heater off the battery systems, is what my friend Tom Malogny was telling me. So again, why is this here? I don't know. It seems like Electrify Expo, as much as the event is really cool, kind of said, oh, anyone that wants to put a display in can. I'd like to see them get a little bit more selective. BMW getting the right idea. Big display, big letters right up here. We have an i4 M50 in San Remo green. Love this color. We actually just did a whole build quality review of i4 recently on Out of Spec Reviews. It was a Dakar yellow BMW individual car. Really liked it. And of course, one of my favorite cars. The problem with the i4 is the value. The space, the sizing, the performance numbers really put it into a Model 3, you know, sort of competitor. But even the base i4 is only like a couple grand less than the most expensive Model 3 performance, maybe without FSD package. And then you can get up to almost 90 grand. The yellow one Colton did was almost $90,000. So it's a tough sell from the pricing. I really think they need to go back at the drawing board and reprice the vehicle for our market. No tax credit. Yeah, it's a great car. It's expensive. You buy it to be different, of course, but it's a lot of coin. So if you see one, you know that the owner definitely went up for it, so which is always interesting. iX50 right here, one of the best electric SUVs on the market, actually priced really well, this particular one. I always love to show people this. This is the washer fluid filling location right there, starting at about, you know, 90 grand, going up to about 110, 120 maxed out for an iX M60. I've driven them everywhere. We've done all the charging tests. The least efficient iX, the iX M60 with the big 22-inch wheels, goes farther on a single charge than the Model X long range on aero wheels. So the range on this is truly incredible. Charges pretty nicely as well. 200 kilowatt, 210 kilowatt peak charging speeds roughly. Beautiful, cool interior, built so well. Bank vault, German SUV doing everything right. The styling is something that you have to get over. Also, Audi Q8 e-tron is a competitor, and we'll have some comparisons coming up soon on that. And then we have the BMW i7. This is a spec I haven't seen yet. Really nice, almost looks like Tanzanite blue. I have to get the exact color on the sheet over here. Let me take a look. i7's amazing. Literally the best luxurious electric car on sale right now. A lot of Rolls Royce in here in my impression. Get the big screen drop down again. Tons of videos on this car. Absolutely love the i7. What is the name of the color on this? This one is 120,000 and frozen deep gray. That's can't be this car. Yeah, I don't think they put the actual, yep, they did not put the actual color on that. That's a build sheet for a different car is what I'm trying to say. And then you have an i4. I believe this one's an eDrive 40. It could be a 35. Let's take a look. If I come back over here, it's an eDrive 40. This is the long-range rear-wheel drive model. I think probably the most popular in warm weather climates. Again, the value is a tough sell for this particular car. So I love the i4. I've driven it. I've made a video with the eDrive 35. Maybe it was the eDrive 40, but I've driven the rear-wheel drive. There's a video on this channel. Very complimentary of it. Love that it's a hatchback as well. Just think it's great. Should be like $20,000 to $25,000 less expensive in every particular trim. So anyway, moving on, let's go. This is sort of the e-bike section. I don't really want to go too hardcore into it, but we certainly will at least show you some of it. But let's rip on over this way. They got a Chrysler Pacifica plug-in on rims, by the way. Lowering springs, I imagine, some sort of lowering, and on rims. And 32 miles of electric driving range. Just doesn't cut it anymore. If you scan over to our left, you'll see Bridgestone actually just launched their new electric tire, or electric adapted tire. It's basically just a compound that, you know, balances the compromise of what an electric tire needs. We've spoken with some of Bridgestone's competitors in the past, going to Goodyear, talking about what makes a good electric tire. We've driven Nokian electric adapted tires with the sound deadening foam on the inside, the extra carcass strength. I don't actually know too much about this tire. We are gonna reach out and maybe we'll have one to test and we'll make some videos for you guys about it. But now we're coming around to more demos on this side. This is where you can like drive all the vehicles off to the left. This thing looks pretty cool, just an electric trike. Lots of weird, random, crazy stuff around. Toyo Tires is here with a booth, of course. If you pan to the right, I haven't even seen this yet. Are these electric boats? No way. We got to go check these out for sure. Lightship RV over on the left, if you take a look, absolutely cool display. Right now it is just a display. You know, we tried to film a video with this thing and they were like, yeah, probably too early. We can't really tell you the specs. They haven't locked everything in. I think they're trying to use the MEB electric motor from like ID4 to power the axle, stuff like that. But none of the contracts were locked in yet. So it will be cool when they come to market. I'm so excited to test this and do stuff with it, but it's just a little bit too early days. So which is confusing because like, why would they do all this marketing if they're not quite ready to sell? It's kind of the EV way, isn't it? Unfortunately. All right, let's take a look at this. Vision Marine Technologies has a $40,000 fantail boat. This thing's 40 grand, perfect. What more do you need? Hook this thing up behind a bolt, go cruising. I don't know. R1S aired out behind another Vision boat. Wow, this is the freaking dream, isn't it? The electric lake boat dream. You grab your R1S, can tow, what, 7,700 pounds max towing on this vehicle. This is the long range quad motor because it's the only one they're making right now. So they'll have a bigger battery coming at some point in the future, but we've done enough Rivian testing. You guys know this vehicle. I own one, I love it. And this is what it's built to do, is to tow the boat to the lake on the weekends. So they actually have an outboard motor that's fully electric here. I don't know much about it. If you guys are interested, perhaps we'll start covering some electric boat topics, but cool to see. I wonder if the battery pack is integrated or something, maybe your power electronics on top. We'll definitely come back and chat with these guys and ask them a little bit more for sure. 180 horsepower motor, which looks pretty sweet. And you can see it's just an outboard on this H2 Elevate is what I'm reading over here. Pretty sick. This is a Dodge Ram 4500. Cummins diesel, inline six. Rolls coal everywhere. Why is this here? Because a company has brought along their all-electric trailer that can't be towed by an electric truck because this particular one weighs 18,000 pounds. So it's pretty cool. You can get 70 kilowatt hours in this particular trailer. There's not, I'm struggling to understand why they would be here because it's a fully electric trailer, but like most RVs have battery storage. They're just claiming they have more of it. And I don't know, it's cool, 70 kilowatt hour battery storage, but that seems to be they got solar that expands up there. Like, I'm totally into it. I just am not seeing where it fits in with the electric car thing. Okay, we got Tesla's on Yokohama display over to the right. I'm trying to avoid going down that way too much, making sure we're not missing anything because the audio is down there. I don't want to get YouTube copyrighted. All right, so now we're getting into like some pretty cool electric cars on display that are like modified. So here we have an old air-cooled Porsche that's now fully battery electric. So love to see that, super cool. You know, I'm totally in for repowering old vehicles with electric, not vehicles that are like known for their powertrains. Now there's a ton of old 911s around. We can spare a few to electric, but let's not do too many, in my opinion. Whole bunch of cool modified Teslas on display. Looks like they all have air ride suspension, so you can dump the air, lower it out. People have gone crazy in this Model 3 tuner space, if you will, putting wide body kits on their car, different wheels, different brakes. You know, take a look at this hood, for example. The whole front end is totally adapted on this particular one. It's great to see people's creativity, and it's got a little bit of like a JDM vibe, if you will. So I think that's interesting. This right here is a rear-wheel drive ID4 with some lift kit, chunky tires, and actually ran in a couple rallies. I've driven this car on this channel. You and I have driven it together at a Volkswagen event. We drove this in the Rebel Rally all-wheel drive car that they had. This is a first edition rear-wheel drive, and so that's pretty sweet. There's an electric rally car over there. There's also the Tesla Unplugged Performance. I just don't want to go over there for audio, but you guys can run over there. The Unplugged Performance Dark Horse Plaid, which looks absolutely incredible, and just can't wait to see that thing run Pikes Peak this year. You know, we're talking 3-motor, extra cooling, extra aero. I don't know what they did in this thing, but it's just so freaking cool. So, yep, love to see that. Come on back this way now. That is so cool. So, all right, so we also have all these lower Teslas, of course, and yeah, just lots of stuff. We got an electric Jeep Willys over here, which is neat. It's like a 914 electric, an old Cadillac of some kind, or some old classic car. I know nothing about classic cars. I wish I did, but I just don't. Mach-E on air suspension. Thing is lay and pack, as Colton would say. Totally aired out in this particular one. White wheels, looks cool. You know, sort of pretty cool to see everyone's take on all of this stuff. And then there's just a ton of aftermarket electric conversion stuff. We are in the age where you can now EV swap just about everything. Here's a fully EV swapped Mustang GT from, you know, maybe 2014 era, something like that. AEM builds a whole bunch of controllers and ways to integrate electric systems in. You get, you know, even with Model 3, you can integrate AEM stuff into, so they have motors, power electronics. We've also filmed some of their stuff at a Holly EV event, so take a look previously on this channel, but love to see all of that. This is super cool. You can see an old 911, of course, another electric adapted Porsche. This is sort of becoming the thing because there's a lot of room up front to put things, and you can actually make them handle better than they did out of the factory just by balancing some of the weight. Love to see that. You can see this here is a whole seemingly electric drivetrain in a crate. So you have power electronics, motor, controllers, charge port. This is so cool. One thing we haven't gotten into on this channel yet is converting classic or even modern cars to battery electric. And it's been a bit confusing in the space because you used to have to take a part from here and a part from there and put it all together and like find someone to integrate it. Now they're really off-the-shelf solutions that do full integration, which is great. Even more of that stuff going on over here to the right, which is pretty interesting to see. This F-150 Lightning, I really wanted to get on camera for you. This thing just looks so sick. Full air ride, so height adjustments. You can see the battery pack sitting really low with it all the way aired out right here. You can see the air ride controls in the front trunk. Love the color, love the wheels. It's a bit of a sport truck slash overlanding. It's like one vehicle that can do it all, but it just looks cool. A bit of a SEMA show truck vibe. So maybe you take this for inspiration and go hardcore off-roading, if you will. S2000, one of my favorites, seemingly fully electric swapped as well. That is so cool to see. And I'm not sure which direction we should go down. I guess we'll come over here to the right and then we'll walk down this way. So another, of course, air-rided out Mustang Mach-E. We've seen this one on displays at SEMA and some other shows, which is cool. A carbon fiber wheel company building carbon wheels for Tesla. Here's their Model S package right here. Don't know much about it, but definitely curious. You have suspension companies all around. You have the Rebel Rally Rivian truck, one of the two that they ran. So I love to see this on display, super neat. They got it fully aired out. Wish they had it full jacked up in high ride height. I think that may have looked even better. More modified Teslas. Again, we told you like this whole Tesla modification scene. Take a look at this, just craziness all around. This is, I believe, T-Sportline's show vehicle. There's this underground world that's coming up here, and it's all mostly done by our friends at Tesla SoCal, Tesla Club SoCal. there's sort of an enthusiast group for electric vehicle owners, not just Tesla. And it's great. We love these guys. Maybe we'll do some tours with them. I'm certainly not going to go crazy and modify any of our cars to this extent. Like, look at this thing over here. Just wide body flares, air ride, a yoke on a Model 3. I mean, just ludicrous things. But it's great to see the enthusiasm, I think, is what I'm feeling here. Toyo Tires brought a whole bunch of battery electric vehicles, from old Porsches to the old slant nose Porsche looks pretty sick, to Hondas, to a Model 3 on Toyo Tires. So they always go all out. Love to see their display. If we continue around this way, you'll see two F-150 Lightnings. This one seems to have a front end leveling kit or some kind of lift kit, just pretty neat. It's also got what? They put different color lights up on this thing. Interesting. SW lights. Pretty cool to see that. And then more e-bikes and micro-mobility products all down here. So, you know, it's one of those events that if you're in the area, it's certainly fun to come and hang out and see all of the electric applications. The micro-mobility stuff's really interesting. Like, look, this one's just adapted for golf carts, or golf bags, I should say, going out on the course. Just so many ludicrous things. But, you know, we'll definitely find a few more EV related topics, car stuff that we'll include in this video. I'll take you again over to the Volvo booth here in just a moment and show you the EX90 design studio. Keep an eye on the channel for more videos, but let's continue. I think that's about as much as we can hit in one go. Actually, no, there's more stuff down here. Sorry. Let's go see what else is down here. There's a completely aired out and slammed F-150 Lightning. It's also by that same lighting dudes who did that one. This is a Current from Los Angeles, did a sort of hot rod battery electric. Colton would love this. He would be so into that. Super cool to see. This is the F-150 Lightning that's completely slammed. Look at the camber on this, absolutely hilarious. They do some different lighting things as well, so maybe some videos we should film here. There's sexy wheels. They make aero cap covers for Model 3, so you have a mix of automakers, accessory companies, and just like random stuff. It's basically, you know, whoever wants to pay to put a booth here can put a booth here, which is kind of cool because you get just, you know, a lot of eclectic things. This Polestar 2 is on rotiforms, just looks awesome. You can take a look at that, wheels, the stance, really love to see that. So I think that's a good looking package for sure. Wheel company here having it on display. This is Wheel Warehouse. And then there's off-roaders, Model Y. There's a Pikes Peak racer over here. I don't know, it just goes on and on. But let's go find some more stuff and we'll catch up with you here in a moment. Just to give you a little idea, there's all these test courses. There's got to be 15 or 20 test courses and people are just sending it on these bikes. You can see just a mixture of everything. You know, this is a whole new world, the e-bike thing. So just wanted to say, if anyone is living in northern Colorado who has a huge hardcore passion for e-bikes, full send, hell yeah, and wants to review stuff. I've heard like so many people have crashed over here today. They got the ambulance right there. Yeah, let me know, because we really want to get our out of spec scooch channel off the ground. It's just been really hard. Like, we have that aerial rider bike. It's been really hard to find someone passionate who can film locally to us. You know, keeping in mind that it's a relatively new channel. There goes a cake bike. Very neat. So there's another cake bike. Full stoppy over here. That was awesome. So yeah, this is hilarious. All right, let's go find some more stuff. Just so many things around here. What a cool event celebrating all of e-mobility. Love the micro-mobility stuff. You know, you're definitely seeing two sides of the event, the car side and the e-mobility, micro-mobility side of things. There's really not much crossover there, especially for us too. That's why we separated out the channels. But all good stuff for sure. Love all this stuff. Look at this thing, a tilting three-wheel situation. No way. Awesome. Guys, it's now the end of the day. We've been filming over with the EV9. Check that video out on YouTube, yesterday's video. But now we're over at the Volvo booth. You have C40. I showed you guys all this right at the beginning of the video. And my good friend Tyler is here. How's it going, sir?
Going great, everybody.
Hey, so you just kind of mic dropped on this whole event, bringing the H345, fully spec, blacked out coach with a design studio inside. What is going on here, sir?
So this is our mobile studio. So this is a brand experience space that we can take to all sorts of different events. And for here at Electrify Expo, we're using it for our EX90 immersion. So this is an opportunity for guests to kind of learn more about our latest future flagship electric SUV, the Volvo EX90. right here in person, because it's not here at this event. It'll be coming to future events, but we want people to know the story about EX90. So we want to take you on a tour of the mobile studio with us.
And as a reminder to our viewers, EX90 is going to be the 7-seater electric wool interior, Bowers & Wilkins sound, top of the line, everything Volvo SUV.
And it'll be built proudly here at our Ridgeville, South Carolina facility.
Hell
We're
yeah.
super excited about that.
And nice ones under 80 grand. Tax credit, yo. So, man, beautiful lighting already on the inside here. Super cool seat. Love the Prevost stuff all around. Dang, look at this. This is so Volvo in here.
This is a pure example of Scandinavian design in a mobile space. So as guests go through here and they'll get to experience this at the Electrify Expos, you know, we're going to be talking about the EX90 from a technology standpoint. We'll talk about from design, we'll talk about the LiDAR unit, we'll talk about all different things. And this is a consumer experience that is guided with a product specialist. So they're taking them on this journey through EX90. Again, we're showing examples of the paint colors that EX90 will be coming in.
What color would you do in yours?
Myself, it's got to be the halo color. It's got to be Vapor Gray. It's the new color. It's the launch color. I mean, if you look at it from any of the videos and photos, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, check it out right here. So that's the communication color for this car. It will also have the wool interior, which I'm a huge fan of. You can see that LiDAR right on top. I cannot wait to drive this. But we already have a full tour of EX90, which you're in.
I know, which is crazy.
Yes. So welcome back to YouTube.
Awesome.
But cool. So we also have the interior options here, right?
Yes.
So this is cool.
Yeah, so these are several of our Nordico options in our Taylor Wool blend, like you were mentioning before. And we'll even get into those when we go into our next space as well.
Cool.
So as guests go through here, we're going to then stop into our center area, which we're going to talk about sound. So with EX90, Bowers & Wilkins has brought a 25 speaker system, and it's a very unique setup that we have in EX90, including speakers in the headrests. So in here, we actually have a video that was produced with our sound design engineers and even our partners at Bowers & Wilkins and Dolby Atmos to talk about what sound means when it comes to the EX90. So guests will be able to come in here and check out the space here. And then they'll come into this room here, which I like to call the design room. So the design room, and you can kind of see a quick video on here, those are some of our design team members that actually have all of these parts laid out on a table. We've recreated a small form of that right here. Many of these are, you know, parts that we've been working with the EX90 on, and a lot of the interior samples as well.
Right, so you can see basically the swatches of the different colors that we saw earlier. You have black, sort of a white-ish oyster color, sort of tan, this being the wool seat fabric here.
And so guests will be able to actually pick these up. They'll be able to see, feel this durable material as well. And when they're looking at this, you know, just like our designers will, they'll then see where it goes to our final execution. So again, when we look at that Taylor Wool blend seat with Nordico, this is what they'll see within the driver's seat.
And this, again, most of the review cars in the US, I think you're going to spec with that communication interior. So when we review one, hopefully we'll get one to drive in that specification and this, you know, sort of gray exterior, that color you were just talking about with Vapor Gray. And of course, a lot to go into on the whole vehicle, but this is such a great way, while the cars aren't here on our shores yet, that you can really get someone excited about EX90.
Absolutely. And then guests will be able to experience this here and even at our next stop in San Francisco.
Oh, great. So Electrify Expo, next stop, San Francisco.
That's right.
So all of you guys, and can they pre-book a tour with this, or how does that work? How does someone schedule a time slot?
So when they come to the expo itself, they'll be able to schedule a time slot to either do our EX90 immersion or also do our test drive. So you have to come to the Electrify Expo. Not trying to do a plug.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But, you know, when you come to the Electrify Expo space, you'll be able to do that. But we'll be having EX90, around at many of our stores in the future.
Very cool. Thanks so much for showing this. What a cool idea to get the bus involved in the design studio. Absolutely love this. Having this unbelievably cool design, very Swedish vibe in here. This would like make the ultimate Volvo RV. If you could just like put a bed in the middle. But cool. Thanks for the tour, Tyler. Really appreciate that.
Of course, no problem.
Well, there you guys go. A full tour of Electrify Expo in Long Beach, California. It's a really cool mix of micromobility all the way up to full-scale electric vehicles. I am really pumped up about the future of both of these segments. Never before have I seen really an event that covers vehicles and micromobility. I'm still not really finding where they blend together, but as an enthusiast of any kind of transportation, it's great to see all the different stuff. Again, if you're interested in any of these topics, let me know. Let us know what you want us to dive more into. We will probably join Electrify Expo at future shows. If you want more scooters, bikes, one wheels, keep an eye on Out of Spec Scoots. That channel's going to get spun up again here pretty soon. We're excited about it. So there you go, a full tour of Electrify Expo. See you on another one soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.